Good morning to you both. Thank you for joining us so early this morning for you guys. Shane, tell me, how did you two meet in the first place?
So there was a documentary done about me many years ago that was online, and Hannah, one fateful night, was online and found that documentary and sent me an email out of the blue just saying hi and striking up a conversation and how much we had in common. And I read that email and was like, wow, her sense of humor is perfect. And I emailed her back, and we were living 1,000 miles apart at the time. So we began to email and then text and then FaceTime and then FaceTime all the time. And then she began to come visit, and now we live together 3 years later. So it's been a wild ride.
So Hannah, what made you email Shane? What was it about him?
I think mainly it was his sense of humor. But I could he's very funny, but I could just tell that we were going to get along. He liked to travel, and I read his blog for a few hours after I saw the documentary, and he was writing about his travels and swimming and like all the things that I loved. So I just thought we would get along really well.
It was my looks.
And
You
Hannah,
were really cute. I said that in the email.
there you go. But Hannah, your family, when you first of all were emailing and sending messages, they did have their concerns at first, didn't they?
Yeah, I think mainly they were concerned because I was talking to a stranger on the internet. I mean, that was sort of new for my parents. They didn't know who he was, and it wasn't really his disability. It was more like, why are you FaceTiming with someone we've never met? But after they FaceTimed with him a couple weeks into me knowing him, they loved him, so they didn't worry anymore.
Well, what was lovely from your part, Shane, is that and certainly that initial email, that first contact, there was no mention of your disability. It was irrelevant, and you said that was like a shining moment.
Yeah, that was really big for me. With the books that I've written and the writing that I do online, I get a lot of messages from people, and all of them comment on how inspiring I am to overcome such a terrible disability, they say. And that shows me that they don't understand that my whole message is that life with a disability can be beautiful and adventurous, and I have a great life that I love. And Hannah made no mention of my wheelchair or my disability or the fact that I'm an inspiration, and I love that. It was all about my humor and the things that we had in common.
So this is a love story, quite simply. However, it's the reaction from others, which is why we're speaking to you today, because there is this misconception that people can't understand what's going on here. They think that Hannah is your carer or your sister, or at worst, as we said in the introduction, your mother. So just explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think there's a pretty widespread misperception about disability in society. People with disabilities are often seen as less than. And so the idea that someone with a disability like me would be dating this intelligent, beautiful, able-bodied woman is mind-blowing to some people, and it shouldn't be. But we get all kinds of ridiculous feedback from people. Do you want to talk about a few of those?
A couple of weeks ago, we were at a restaurant, and I had gone to the bathroom, but Shane was still at the table, and the waitress came over, and Shane asked for the check. And then when I got back, she came back to the table and said, he asked for the check, is that okay? So it's just people assuming that he isn't capable of doing things like asking for the check at a restaurant.
Well, I mean, there are two or three things that you've told us, that you've been out for a meal and someone's come over and prayed over him.
That was on one of our first dates.
Yeah, absolutely romantic. We were out, and this woman came over and just like laid her hands on me and said, "Lord, give this man a happy life." And I was like, I have a happy life. Like, what are you talking about? Films like that happen.
Well, people
sadly,
have
all the time.
people have patted you on the head. Hannah, the moment in the park where the guy came over and was talking about the bubbles.
Yeah, there was a man in a park when we were on a nice romantic picnic who was playing with a bunch of kids. A dad had a bunch of kids and they were playing with bubbles. And the guy ran over to me really excited and asked me if he wanted to play with his bubbles. And I didn't know what to say. Shane said, no, thank you. And the man was like, why don't you want to play with my
It
bubbles?
was like, he can talk.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But this is the thing, isn't it? It's that lack of education, and that's what you're trying to do together in your own way. And you've got the vlog, and it is sort of letting people in with limited understanding of what your life is about and how normal your life is, just like anybody else.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that we're doing. I mean, all of that ignorance just comes from, like you said, a lack of knowledge and a lack of experience. And by showing people on our YouTube channel the ins and outs of our daily life, we're giving them that experience.
It's Squirmy and Grubs is the name of the vlog, and so although you are both very young, and we're just showing a picture of the book here now, because you have written a book. I mean, I think you've written a number of books, but Strangers Assume My Girlfriend Is My Nurse is the latest one. That's out, I think, about to be out now. And as far as you guys are concerned, as I was saying, you are very young. Sort of lives ahead of you. Are you thinking about marriage? Are you thinking about kids? Has it popped up on the horizon?
Actually, I have a question for you. No, yeah, we are. We both talked about it, and it's definitely in our future. It's only a matter of time until I pop the big question.
Lovely. Lovely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's lovely to meet both of you, and good luck with the book, and keep going with the vlog as well. What you're doing is really important, so thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Really lovely to talk to you.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.